Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the Arkansas RC Newbie, and on today's episode we are going to be doing a little bit of modification on the RGT today. I have got some carbon fiber tomahawks, and the goal is to make these into some shock keys. So guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it. Alright guys, so first let's go ahead and talk about why we're going to be doing this modification today before I show you guys the carbon fiber tomahawks. So the front shock here is angled towards the back of the vehicle. If you notice, as soon as I lift up, the shocks want to drop, and that's pretty much in the right orientation. I think we could get away with a little bit more of an angle on the front shocks to try to make this whole setup a triangular shape. So basically to have these shocks facing inwards, right? So we have a triangle with the bottom and then it comes up to a point is the idea. So the front, that's as much as I can kick it to the back. I've tried to switch these body mounts, but they don't, I can't get any more angle out of the front, so I might have to buy some shock keys for that. Now the rear, it's in the opposite direction, alrighty? So when I'm crawling and we go to lift up here, these are 90 millimeter in total on the rear, on the Desert Lizards. When I lift it up, it pretty much gets held there, but the issue is it's starting to fight against itself. So I'm going to pull down on the axle, and we've got a little bit more travel there that's not being used because I'm fighting against everything on the lower part of the chassis. So the hopes today are to angle these forward. Now in doing so, everybody's been commenting, and I appreciate all the comments, guys. You guys have really helped me out with this build. Everybody's been saying, hey, you have got to get yourself some shock keys, okay? Because I've had all the issues with the Desert Lizards. A lot of people think it's the angle and not just the build of them. Now these here are, I guess they're meant to be mounted to the bottom side of your suspension on your crawler, and then this is supposed to be mounted to the bottom part of your shock tower. So I think what happens is you just get a little bit more travel. I don't know, you guys can Google that, I'm not sure. But what I'm going to be doing with these today is I'm going to be getting this and probably making another hole down here and the hole up here so I can mount it on the side of the shock tower, right? It'll probably look something like this down low, and I can actually move that shock forward. So let's go ahead and get into some modification of this deal. We're gonna have to line up these holes. I do have a face mask because apparently carbon fiber drilling is dangerous with the little particles in the air, so I'm gonna put a mask on. Alright, so that's definitely what we want right here. We can get so much more travel out of that, guys. That's going to be a really big change up. I think it's going to help. There was a guy in the comments that said, hey, you should get your shock towers, or you should get your Desert Lizards, and you should mount them upside down. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that would help or hinder the RGT here if I were to mount these guys upside down? Keep from any air bubbles getting trapped in there. Alright, so what we'll do is we're going to mount this up. Well, just kind of mock it up real quick. Yeah, there's just not a lot of options with the RGT, guys. Now I'm sure I probably could have bought some of the those shock keys on Amazon and probably gotten away with it, but I think this would be a cooler idea to kind of try to fabricate something that's not meant for the job. Okay, so right there looks kind of cool. There's a lot of options back here on this plate, but I think something like that might work. That way I could probably kick it forward just a little bit more here, like that, and then kind of move it all the way back. Okay, so we're going to, I think the angle that we wanted at, the shock's going to mount on the outside here. Now let's see, I'm hoping that there's going to be enough meat. I've got this hole here is the one that I've got that little mock bolt in right now. And let's go on the other side. Let's see if we've got enough meat going through this hole here, because I'm going to have to definitely mar it up and drill a hole there. Here's the mock-up bolt. I'll have to get one right below it and drill another hole, and then we'll probably have to change out hardware just so we can fit 2 bolts there instead of this one. Alright guys, here we go. I've got my little bitty marking here on the carbon fiber shock key, and I've got my Dremel. Probably should be using a regular drill for this. Alright, so we did a pretty clean hole there. Just enough meat to not quite get a crack through the bottom part of the shock key. But wow, I mean, that is close. Let's go ahead and put a bolt through this thing and let's see. And then we'll have to take it back over here so we can kind of template this one to drill the hole in this guy. All right, guys, well, here's my, my little bolt set. And this thing here, I'm going to put some affiliate links in the description. We've got a huge assortment of screws, and everything is all compatible with the RGT at least. All the different screws, everything I ever need with this guy. It comes with a whole bunch of extra little parts. It comes with O-rings, nuts, washers, body clips. I mean, it's really nice. But if you guys want to check this thing out that I've got, go ahead and check out the affiliate links in the description. Now let's talk about this shock. My little shock key here. The problem is I don't have two small enough heads to actually make it to where both these can sit side by side. We've got one there, as you guys can see. I'm going to put another one in here, and they make contact with themselves, so I'm going to have to grind one of them flat on one side. You see that they kind of overlap each other? I know that's not going to be good. I don't want those things to be crooked. But let's put it on the RGT. So the cool thing here is, since we've got these different mounting spots that didn't quite work for the shock itself, we can actually look at messing with this shock key setup just a little bit more and having a little bit more options. That's pretty cool because these holes are pretty much the same distance apart. Alright, that's fully compressed. Yeah, look at that. That is going to be awesome. Okay, so all we need to do next, drill a hole out for the eyelet, I guess, and then we'll make this, we'll use this as the template for the other one, and then we'll get after it. Alright guys, got the carbon fiber shock keys drilled out. I did get pretty close to the edge on this one, but there's still enough meat there where I'm not really too worried about it. So let's go ahead and stick this guy on here and let's see what it looks like. Now that feels very sturdy, very sturdy. I was going to go ahead and grind one of these heads out, but I don't know, I think they'll be just fine. I might add something longer maybe with a nut on the other side, but I think that'll be okay. Now right there matches up pretty close on this guy here. Let's go ahead and add the little eyelet. And I've got some longer bolts here that we're going to use because I think I want to put a nut on the other side just to add some rigidity. That looks pretty good there, I think. Might be a little overkill on the nut and bolt. I can always cut the end of it off. Man, that looks so good on there, guys. Look at that. And we'll take a look at it with the body on here as well. Wow. Alright guys, well that was another Arkansas RC newbie episode. I got the rear, we're going to call them shock keys now, they're no longer tomahawks. Got the rear shock keys all mounted up. I might go ahead and grind down the heads a little bit because the bolts or the screws, whatever, are pretty long. But I don't think it's going to mess with anything. The angle, I finally got that triangular shape we've been looking for, and I think that angle really helps. You guys can see here with that awesome amount of flex that we got going on. Front tires are definitely making enough contact. And before that rear used to almost fight against itself, but that's about the max I can get out of it. The rear used to fight against itself to where it would be about like that. There'd still be a pretty good amount of flex and travel, but now having those shock keys in there made a world of difference. Hopefully makes a big difference on the crawling course. We got a little crawler comp coming up this weekend. So guys, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys watching and showing some support. We will see you on the next episode.